It's me, Shadow, and I just wanted to make this video after watching Kamen Rider Zetsu episode 7. There's a lot I want to talk about today, a lot of stuff, and a lot of theories I want to talk about. Now, first, I want to get the longest theory out of the way, and it's Nox. Now, if at the end of episode 7, we learned that episode 7, you learn how Nemu is uh, dead or a ghost that's living in the dream world or is subconscious. Conscious. Now, when I first saw when I saw the preview in episode 7, I knew immediately that she wasn't dead. She was comatose. Comatose. And I'll talk about Nemu in a second. But there's one thing I want to talk before that is like I'm actually I wanted to a quick protagonist theory. Now in 7, in episode, nearly I think midway episode 7, Nox says to the protagonist like something about like sins, like the power that you have. Your nightmare is connected to something that you did in the past, or something like that. He insinuates that his nightmare is something to do with the past, right? So I was kind of brainstorming what could that mean, right? Because here's the thing. Hang on, let me just get a quick sip. Oh, that juice is good. Anyway, right. So I was thinking, right, how can that be? So I did think of one theory. There's nothing to back it up or anything. It's just a theory that I just came out of the back of my head. And now I took away this theory because of I said before that my first theory was that I thought that the protagonist was a nightmare, a good nightmare, like a nightmare that was created. But hear me out. Hear me out. And I have this wild theory. I wanted to share this theory just to throw it out there, right? Is that I think that Zetsu is a nightmare. But hear me out. But his dreamer that manifested him, it's just my opinion, that manifested him is his sister. So my theory is that he's that guy, Zetsu, the protagonist, is a nightmare. Yeah. And the dreamer that manifested him is his sister. So I can't just defend that what happens, like maybe the original protagonist, the original guy, got into an accident, right? Got into an accident because you know how in the beginning of episode 1, the sister always says he gets into accidents and he sometimes he mysteriously survives. Well, here's the thing. I don't think that's the case. No, I think he during the bus, where I think it was one where he says the bus crash. I think in one of those accidents, the brother dies, right? Dies, and then the sister, loses her brother and all that other stuff. So what happens is, after losing her brother, she has trouble sleeping, right? While she's sleeping, her subconscious mind, right, creates. Her subconscious mind creates an anomaly. And what the anomaly is a good nightmare. And this good nightmare, right, when after manifesting, took on the form of her brother. And after creating this brother, some kind of magic or something, either maybe or that or psychology or magic or something, seals that memory away. Seals that memory away. So she forgets, right? So she thinks that nightmare that looks like her brother is the real one, is her real brother, right? And and this is how I need now. I'm going to explain what all those accidents were. When you start to help someone, an accident happens. I think that those accidents are caused by the real brother, the soul of the real brother, where I think maybe the real brother or like karma, right? It's because he is a nightmare, a good nightmare, but a nightmare nonetheless. And like I said before, this is very similar to the way that because he's going against his nature, karma or the world rules, whatever you want to call it, is attacking him whenever he does something good. Right? It's like, hey, you're not supposed to behave like that. You're supposed to behave this way, and karma attacks him. The other scenario I think it is that the real brother is mad or like maybe upset that that he that Zetsu the imitation is like is like I guess maybe taking his place or something like that or something like that, and he gets back at him whenever he does good deeds to I don't know, to spite him, spite this pretender, you know. That's what I feel like, right? And I, right, and I think that also goes in. And the reason why I also fit this because it goes in because it also fits with his secret agent uh, uh, motif. Why? Because what do secret agents do the most? Disguises. Disguises. Right? Which is what he is. Right? That's what he's using. He's disguising as her real brother. Right? Mother. And after, so no, keep in mind, both her memories and his memories are both sealed. Sealed. Right? And I'm thinking like near the end of the series or how many series he's going to remember that, and that's he's gonna remember, and that's where and that's where the like he starts questioning stuff because you know how writers always go through that kind of self questioning phase. Uh, Exceed was when Exceed questioning stuff when he found out he was the first Bugster virus victim, right? And he started questioning himself. He's like, oh, I don't know. He questioned himself, and I think Build was when Sento found out that he was the other guy, right? And he's the one who and that him or his father created first who created the gas off of uh, Bloodstar, I think, right? So I think what his arc is, his kind of like questing arc is going to be when he finds out that he is a nightmare and questions whether or not he should continue fighting other nightmares, right? Because he sees the he sees it kind of as like type of hypocrisy where it's like, oh, I'm fighting all these nightmares to make people happy, but then I'm also a nightmare. I'm destroying nightmares, right? To make people happy, but at the same time, I'm also a nightmare. So do I have the right to fight these guys, right? To fight and destroy these guys? Right. So that's what I think, right? Like I said, it's a very like half a theory. No reason back up, but right now I actually it's just a wild theory I had. Right. Okay. So the hero portion of this is done. Now I want to move on to Nemu. Now Nemu, I think it's interesting. Now here's the thing. I'm telling you now, right now, spoilers maybe, there's going to be a lot and a lot and a lot of Persona references that's coming for Nemu. Okay? I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a lot of Persona references. I'm just telling you now, it's coming. Okay? Okay, let's begin. Now, first, I thought that Nemu was like some type of like goddess or something, like some type of goddess that has some type of sleeping dream magic. But then after, when I realized she was comatose, she was just a comatose victim who is able to just enter dreams. But then I scrapped that and we went back to the dream goddess because I'm going to explain why. Because the thing is, I think the nightmares derive from Nemu. Now, the reason why I think this is because whenever Zetsu destroys a nightmare, when the nightmare disintegrates, they turn into butterflies and fly off. Now, at first, I thought this was some type of like reincarnation or transformation, and the reason why is because when I first back in the day when I first played my first Persona game, I think it was the third. Yeah, it was the third. Then I went back and played the first. Yeah, I think first was the first Persona game, but I think it was Persona 3. I did play Persona 2 and 1. I went back and played, but 3 is my first one. A lot of the game usually prefers to use butterflies a lot too. And according to their lore, right, butterflies usually refer to transformation, death, usually death and rebirth. So at first I thought, so when I saw the butterflies, I was like, oh wow, what monsters, first I'll tell you what I thought the butterflies were at first. I thought that what the butterflies were, when the butterflies are, is that when a nightmare dies, right? Zetsu is purifying the nightmares into pure energy, and that pure energy turns into butterflies, and those butterflies go somewhere. Now I don't know where they go. Now I go at the time. Now I know they go to Nemu now, but now we know they go to Nemu. Right. So now I'll explain why I think I'm going back to the goddess era, because like I said, in episode 7, we near the end of the episode, you find out that the butterflies that the nightmares are disintegrating into and transforming into are actually going to Nemu. So and now under the pretext of death and rebirth for butterflies for Persona games, makes me think that Nemu is in fact a goddess or a demon, goddess or demon, one of the two. Two. And now the thing about Nemu is I want to see it for the Nexo part, for the Nox part, but I'll just end here. I think two things. I think that Nemu and Nox, the demon guy, the guy in the book. Actually, no, I'll save it. I'll save it for Nox. Okay, we'll end it here. I'll end it here. The Nem 3 and go to Nox, and I'll explain in the Nox section. Okay, so now next is Nox section. Now the thing about Nox is that here's the thing. I think he is related to Nemu. Nemu. And the reason why Nemu is kind of kind of like helping the nightmares. Now this isn't there, but this is my thing. I think Nightmare is trying to rebuild and resurrect Nemu. So what I think is happening is I think he's trying to create nightmares, right? He's trying. This is just theory, but I think nightmares, right? He's creating nightmares, and he's trying to gull. Because here's the thing. At first, I thought Nox was a villain, but I don't think he's a villain anymore. I don't think he's a bad guy. I actually think he's a good guy. Now I'll go back to explain why. Because if you think about it, if he really was a villain, Nox never really stops Zetsu at all. If you think about it, he never really stops him. He gives him he even gives him really good advice, right? About dreams and about other stuff. So I actually think that Nox is not a bad guy. I think he's an anti-hero, right? Or misunderstood villain or not. But I don't think he's the main villain of the series, especially if you look at the opening, where he's with the protagonist and the others. So I don't think he's going to stay a villain. I think he's gonna be a good guy later. I'm most positive now. After watching the opening and thinking about it and watching his mannerisms, I'm most positive he's gonna turn good at some point. And I'll explain why I think that is the case. Now let's go to Nox. Nox has two histories. One, he's either a kid who grew up in the same orphanage as Nemu, or is related to Nemu. And the reason why he doesn't reveal this is because I think that Nemu is not human, right? I think he's either a goddess or a demon, right? And here's the thing. I think he doesn't want. Now I don't think he reveals his connection to Nemu because of what he has to do to fix her. Now, hear me out. I think that the reason why he's siding with the demons so far is to essentially trick Zetsu. Now, hear me out. As you know, Nemu came in an accident and was knocked unconscious, right? Now we know from episode 7 that Nox stole the body, right? So I think, hear me out. What I think is Nox creates the demons, right? Convinces people to give in and create nightmares, right? He then kind of manipulates Zetsu to attack, to save the victims, again to destroy the nightmare. After Zetsu purifies the nightmare, defeats the nightmare, and the butterflies come, right? Butterfly death, rebirth, purification, right? For Zetsu, he then collects the energy and sends the purified energy to Nemu, which in turn, because they said butterflies usually reflect transformation. So what I think is I think he wants to save her by using the purified energy that defeated nightmares give off to resurrect and fix Nemu. And as for the dreams, I think that's Nemu's ability, right? Or Nox did it. Nox sealed her in dreams. While her body, while the energy, purified energy prepares her body, he put his soul. He sealed Nexu's soul in the world, in the land of dreams, in the dream world, where her soul will be protected. 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 Now, right? Now, here's the thing. Now, this is a wild thing I want to share, and it's the final bad guy of the series. And I'm going to say it. It's a wild theory. There's no proof of it, but I have a theory I want to share. The final bad guy. I can't remember the name is, but it's the chief. Seven's chief, the guy who I actually think that's going to be a rug is going to be pulled over our eyes. A switcheroo is going to happen, and the chief is going to end up being the bad guy, the final bad guy at the end. And it's going to be some type of experiment or ritual or something like that. And he was he was playing both the villain and the hero, chief and the evil mastermind. He's playing both sides, playing both sides, playing both the Nox and the protagonist. So like something like that. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I'm like 30% sure that that the stories might go down something like that. I know you're thinking, well, the boss was there, but I actually think that the boss was there, you know, manipulating things behind the scenes, everything unfolding the way he wishes, wishes. Kind of like a Ryoma kind of, guy in Roma, where he kind of manipulates everyone to do what he wants. Kind of like that, literally like that, but like maybe a little bit more magic and stuff because dream magic. Um, yeah, that's about it. I think that's all I want to talk about now. Oh wow, I did it in one take. Usually I have to record this multiple times. Wow, I finished in one take. Well, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Have a great day. Hope everything works out. Bye.